Good evening, good evening. Welcome to the October 4th edition of NAACP Speaks. I am Kaleem Shabazz, the president of the Atlantic City branch of the NAACP, and we are delighted to bring to you the first program in the month of October that we are recording. Hopefully your fall season is coming along. We've come through the summer successfully, and we're now into the fall season. And to us in the NAACP, that means we're getting ready for elections. The midterm election is coming up very shortly, and we are in an all-out campaign mode. When I say campaign mode, I mean we are encouraging people to register to vote, and then we are encouraging people to vote. We don't endorse candidates as NAACP, we're nonpartisan, but we are very involved in civic engagement, in voter education, in voter mobilization. So that's what you're going to be hearing today and all the way up to the November elections. As we do every week, we want to give a shout out to the owner, the president and the CEO of WHA, where we are heard here every Tuesday from 4:30 to 5:30 on 88.7 and 100.3 FM. And that's Deacon William Hawks, First Lady Hawks. And as we also do every week, we want to acknowledge our very splendid and professional engineering staff, Teron, Stefan, and Super Steph and Kristen. We thank them. It doesn't seem like it's been over 3 years, but it has. And we have been coming to you every week, and we are so glad for your support, for the questions as we move on. Also, as it's been our duty for really too long, we talk about COVID-19. Over 1.5 million people, citizens of the United States who have died, 35,000 and counting, unfortunately, in the state, and numbers that are not rising, but are still there. And you wonder, Yolanda, if we have got sort of callous to the deaths that COVID-19 has caused. I heard somebody the other day, and I was talking to someone who said there's only 400 people a day dying in COVID-19. That's 2,800 a week. That's almost 3,000 people a week that we know of that's recorded. That's 12,000 people a month. Citizens, brothers, sisters, uncles in COVID-19. So we are encouraging people. I'm glad to see Dr. Cupanini has come on. I want to announce, Dr. Cupanini, that I have gotten my shot when this is going to be played. I got my Moderna Omicron booster on September 28th at Second Baptist Church. And also I took my photographer there. And the reason I took my photographer is because I want to put in my October newsletter that I got the Omicron booster that is safe, that is reliable, and other people should get it. And before I turn it over to Yolanda for her announcements, Candidates Night has been confirmed. We're going to be at Martin Luther King Complex, which is 1700 Memorial Avenue in Atlantic City. And the Candidates Night is going to be Tuesday, October 18th, Tuesday, October 18th, 6 to 9 p.m. And the candidates that we will be hearing from are candidates for U.S. Congress, candidates for County Commissioner at Large, candidates for County Commissioner District 1. And we want to keep making this announcement so people are clear. The new District 1 for the County Commissioners, formerly freeholders, is Atlantic City, Ventnor, Longport, and Margate. The new District 1 for county representation is Atlantic City, Ventnor, Longport, Margate. So if you live in any of those communities, you will be voting for county commissioner from that district, Atlantic City, Ventnor, Longport, and Margate. And also we will be hearing from candidates from the Atlantic City School Board, or for the Atlantic City School Board, for the Atlantic City School Board, a very important position. The school tax is a big part of our property tax bill. And more importantly than that, the school board helps set curriculum and guidelines for our public school youth. So having said that, look out for the Candidates Night. Is also going to be broadcast live here on WHA. And again, we thank William Hawks, the owner, operator, and president of WHA, for his civic engagement and his ability year after year to make sure that we're live on the air so people can hear the candidates for themselves. It's not a debate. Our candidate night is a night where we ask the candidates questions, to respond to questions, to give us their position on issues of civil rights and social justice, and they respond. And our goal is to have them have an unfiltered access to the voting public. So that's what we do in Candidates Night. It's not a debate. We're not looking for one-liners. We're not trying to make headlines in the newspaper. We are trying to educate our community so they can make a decision as to who the best candidate for each position is. And that's the goal and the mission of the Atlantic City NAACP. Having said that, I now turn over for her announcements and her commentary to the, as Alexander Bland said, the Queen of Radio, the one of the newest partners, the first partner of color in the Cooper Leveson law firm, our vice president in Atlantic City branch NAACP, and our legal redress officer, Yolanda Melville Esquire. Yolanda, good evening.
Good evening, President. It is October.
Yes.
It's this year is going by so fast. I will not.
In a minute, yeah.
I know. Tell me about it. I will not belabor this because I see Dr. Cupanini is seated, ready to go. So right. I would defer my time to Dr. Cupanini, but I want to let him know that I will be getting my flu shot on October 6th.
There we go. All right. Okay. We gotta lead by example.
That's right. Doctor, good afternoon.
Good afternoon to you. Thank you so much for having me. And Mr. President, thank you for having me.
Yes, sir.
Listen, as you know, there is this controversy about the pandemic is over.
Yes.
Well, it's not over, okay? And the thing about it is, I'm not trying to defend anybody, but the definition of pandemic being over, it's not. It's like a political calculation. The medical facts is not supporting that. You don't gauge that or determine that just by the numbers. The numbers are still there. Excess of 350 people are still dying every day in this country. And we have different places in the country where the coronavirus is still active. And I mean, very active. Illinois, for instance, there's a lot of cases there that needs to be, something has to be done about it. And listen, like we've been saying all the time, the best way to prevent yourself from getting infected or even getting into any bad situation is to get yourself vaccinated. It is still free. Okay, you don't have to pay for it yet. It is still free. So you get vaccinated, you get boosted, and now we got the Omicron specific vaccine that is available right now. I think it's been out now for about the past three and a half weeks. Mm-hmm. Still go ahead, call your pharmacies, and whether you have Moderna or you have Pfizer, get the same specific vaccine that you got earlier on, that you've been getting. There's no need to switch or to interchange. It's still the same thing. We have a brand new Omicron right now, which is still, is beginning maybe about 8 to 12% infectivity rate. And that's only God knows where that is going to go. Okay, it's getting colder now, and it makes it easier for you to catch Omicron if indeed you're not vaccinated. But if you catch a flu, it makes it even much easier for the Omicron to do its dirty work. So Please get yourself vaccinated. get yourself boosted, and we don't know what's going to happen this cold months, because people move inside, they move indoors. Everybody's in each other's space, because it's cold outside, and that's how this Omicron spreads. So please, let's go ahead and make a decision, a health decision, and do what is best for you and your family. Now, as far as the monkeypox is concerned, I think unfortunately there's one death reported so far. It doesn't mean it's gone away, but at least it's declining. The incidence is becoming lower and lower as the day goes by, and there is a vaccine that the government has made available, and all you have to do is call your local health centers, and they'll be able to arrange that for you should you be in a vulnerable population to catch it. And other than that, please see a doctor again. Make sure that you do what you got to do, and wash your hands, use your mask as needed. Yes, you may feel a little out of place when you go to some gatherings, because most people don't have their mask. They don't have their mask on anymore. It doesn't matter. You protect yourself. So still, don't feel upset. Don't feel bad. Just go ahead and protect yourself, and that's it. And you spend much less time in the gathering of people, more than 20 or 15 to 20. That's enough. And then you just spend less time with them. And then, with all your mitigating measures, you should be safe. Okay, thank you.
Oh, Dr. Kubney, let me ask you a quick question. The flu season is upon us. Would you advise, well, I know the answer, but I'll let you say it. Should people get their flu shots? And if they get their flu shots, should they get their flu shots, or can they get the flu shots at the same time as they get their booster?
It is, first of all, get your flu shots if you've been getting it before. Okay, get it, and you can get it at the same time. But if you're not comfortable with that, you can wait a week in between. Get your flu shot, and then a week later, go and get your Omicron shot if you feel better that way. And unfortunately, there are so many negatives out there about, oh, it causes this, it causes that. Recently, I think over the weekend, there was a discussion. We had a discussion from the medical standpoint about people reporting that they were getting lymphoma from the Omicron, from the Corona shot. Well, it is very, very, if you have an incidence of a particular disease and it's like 1 in a million, well, a lot of times that might just be coincidence. Okay, it is not that common. Unfortunately, for the person that got it, it's 100%. But at the same time, don't be afraid of that. Go ahead and protect yourself. But you can get the Omicron together with flu shot at the same time.
Thank you, Doctor.
That's the bottom line. Thank you.
Thank you. And for the record, I did get my flu shot. No problems. Like I said on the earlier shot, I had no adverse effects. I was able to take directions from the Queen of Radio and follow them 100%. So
beautiful,
beautiful.
Yeah. Yep. That's it. Just go get it and forget about it, and the vaccine will keep working.
Thank you,
Doctor. It bears being repeated every week, because there's someone out there who's going to need either the flu shot or the COVID-19 this season, unfortunately, because they're still prevalent. So we need to do our best to protect our communities in any way we can. Thank you, Doctor.
Thank you so much. Okay.
Take care.
Stay healthy, stay well.
Yeah, and I'll tell everybody that the Queen of Radio got her shot. Okay.
That's right. Tell them.
Okay. All right.
All right.
Thank you, Doc. So we'll just do a segue right into Alexander Bland. Alexander Bland is no stranger to our show either. He is a Next Gen graduate of our National Next Gen Young Professionals Program. He is a registered nurse in our community. He serves patients and he serves the community, and he does it well. So welcome to the show again, Alex. Thank you for your update this week.
Hey, how's everybody doing? I'm sorry about my camera. Next week I get on the laptop. I think my camera is cracked. From my phone is cracked. But yeah, I know I talk about the COVID vaccine all the time. And I'm glad when I hopped on, I heard Dr. Cupanini talking about the flu vaccine. And I want to go over some things about the flu vaccine. I want to bust some myths. So one myth is the flu is not that serious, so I don't need to get the vaccine. That couldn't be further from the truth. As many as 650,000 people a year can die of the flu. That only represents the respiratory deaths. So likely the impact is even higher. Even healthy people can get the flu, but especially people whose immune systems are vulnerable. Most people will recover from the flu within a few weeks, but some can develop complications, including sinus and ear infections, pneumonia, and even heart or brain inflammation, which is the worst. One person told me they're not going to get the flu vaccine because it gives them the flu. I just want to address that. The flu vaccines contain inactive viruses that cannot give you the flu. I'm gonna repeat that. The injected flu vaccine contains inactive viruses that cannot give you the flu. If you feel achy, slightly feverish, it is normal. That's a normal reaction to the vaccine. The immune system to the vaccine generally lasts only up to 1 to 2 days. So Mr. President, I'm gonna repeat that because that's a big one.
Yes.
The flu vaccine cannot give you the flu.
Yes.
The flu vaccine contains an inactive virus that cannot give you the emphysema. If you feel achy or slightly feverish, it is a normal reaction to the vaccine for your immune system, and it generally only lasts up to 1 or 2 days. And speaking of that, people think some people won't get it because they said the side effects are much more worse, and that couldn't be further from the truth either. The flu vaccine is proven to be safe. You know, the flu vaccine has been around for, you know what, next week I'll let you know how long it's been around, but it's been around probably before I was born. I'm 32 years old. The flu vaccine is safe. Severe side effects are extremely rare. Now listen to this number, everyone. 1 in 1 million people get muscle weakness and even paralyzed. Not paralyzed, but certain fingers are inside. But it don't even matter because it's 1 in 1 million. So please get the flu vaccine. Even if you get the flu after the flu vaccine, that doesn't mean that the flu vaccine didn't work. Right. And it's just like with the COVID, it helps your symptoms out. So maybe if you were feeling achy, if you didn't get the vaccine for for flu or COVID, you might have ended up in the hospital, but it's important to get the vaccine. Several flu viruses are circulating all the time, which is why people may still get the flu despite being vaccinated. Since the vaccine is specific to one strain, being vaccinated improves the chances of being protected from the flu. Now listen, I like to repeat myself. Being vaccinated improves chances of being protected from the flu. This is especially important to stop the This is especially important to stop the virus from affecting people with vulnerable immune systems. And one of my favorites, just like with the COVID shot, it's so funny when I look up. It's because at my job, we just signed papers that we have to get the flu vaccine. It's a deadline before we get it, and you hear people saying the same stuff with the COVID vaccine. I don't get that people are anti-vaxxers all of a sudden. When we've been getting the flu vaccine every year. But if you are pregnant, you should still get the flu vaccine.
Right.
Pregnant women should especially get the flu vaccine since their immune systems are weaker than usual. The inactive flu vaccine is safe at any stage of pregnancy. And that's just a few myths I wanted to bust today. If please get vaccinated. You know, please, whether it's the COVID vaccine or the flu vaccine or any vaccine you need to get, trust the science. Because it's funny listening to people that don't know what they're talking about, especially when it's disputing somebody that does this for a living. And I'm talking about the scientists that work on this every day, day in and day out. They're working on this to improve it for everyone. And for whatever reason, you're against it. So please get vaccinated. Please be safe. And, thank you.
Thank you, Nurse Alexander Bland. And as Yolanda said in the introduction, Alexander Bland is a registered nurse. He's certified, he's licensed, and he is active in the health field. So he knows what he's talking about. Other people like that American poet James Brown said they're talking loud, but they're not saying nothing. And Yolanda, you too don't remember James Brown, but James Brown said, like a dull knife, you're just not cutting. So thank you, Alexander Bland, for busting those myths.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
thank you both.
Yeah.
Thank you. So I will go into my I'm
While you're
actually
doing
getting an
that, let me
emergency
just
phone
say,
call. So you go ahead and take the next announcement and I'll take my emergency call.
okay, our special guest today in a few minutes is going to be Miss Sharonda Harris-Bunton. Sharonda Harris-Bunton, who is the founder and owner of Vegans Are Us, which is a vegan restaurant right here in Atlantic City, 122 North Michigan Avenue in the Walk. And she also has a location on East Landis Avenue in Vineland, New Jersey. And we will be talking to her in about 4 minutes. We thank her so much for taking the time out of her busy schedule as an entrepreneur to come on the NAACP program. And we want the audience to please listen to her story. She is a successful businesswoman of color, and we know that she has much to tell us, much to share with young women of color and give them an idea of why it's important for them to go in business. And she's going to tell us about the importance of veganism, why that is something that can improve the health of our community, which we need desperately. Dr. Cupanini, who comes on weekly to tell us about health issues, has been focusing on health. And Alexander Bland, who is also a health practitioner, a registered nurse, comes on to tell us about that. So we're taking that to another level by having Sister Boynton tell us about veganism in a couple of minutes. So Yolanda, did you want to say anything about the membership or
Yes.
any of those announcements before we get to our special guest?
Absolutely. So I'm ready to give this week's announcements. We are so glad to have in the next half hour, Sharonda Harris-Bunton, who is the founder of Vegans Are Us. And we'll talk about more about the work that she's been doing and the impact on our community. And I think the impact, I believe, nationally. So we'll talk about that shortly in the next few minutes. We want to invite anybody who is not yet a member of the Atlantic City NAACP to do so by sending your name, address, email address, and phone number with your correspondence to Atlantic City NAACP, P.O. Box 1182, Absecon, New Jersey, 08201. Again, P.O. Box 1182, Absecon, New Jersey, 08201. You can also go to naacp.org/become a member. And we are branch number 2077B, the Atlantic City Adult Branch. A 1-year annual membership is $30, but you can always become a silver subscribing life member or a diamond life member, a gold life member, or various other types of membership. Membership is open to all. Again, it is almost, the registration deadline is coming up upon us for this year's election season. So please, if you know someone who is not yet registered to vote or has moved or has changed something about their information that needs to be updated with the Division on Elections for New Jersey, please let them know to do so before the October 18th deadline, as President Shabazz mentioned. In order to register to vote, you have to be a United States citizen, at least 17 years of age, although you may not vote until you're 18, a resident of your county for 30 days prior to the election, and so long as you know someone or you may be someone who was formerly incarcerated, meaning you served and you're now released, or you have a condition of parole or probation. Please let them know, or please note for yourself that you can actually register to vote and vote in New Jersey, so long as you're not incarcerated. That's very important. There's over 80,000 New Jersey residents who are eligible to register to vote. And I know there's opportunities every day as people re-enter back into our communities from being incarcerated. So that is important for all of us to note that you can be registered to vote here in New Jersey. I don't have anything else. I just want to say that I was really delighted about last week's discussion with our political action co-chairs and the importance of candidates night and the issues in our community. And I look forward to another fantastic interview this week.
Okay, thank you so much, Yolanda. And we are to the our special guest, and our special guest tonight. Welcome, 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 Sharonda Harris-Bunton, founder and owner of Vegans Are Us, East Landon Avenue in Vineland, and right here in Atlantic City, 122 North Michigan Avenue in the Walk, which happens to be in the 3rd Ward, which happens to be the ward I'm so happy to represent in my city council hat. Good afternoon, good evening, Ms. Harris-Bunton. Thank you so much for coming on the program. We appreciate you, and we know this is going to be an outstanding interview. So I'm going to turn this part of the program over to Yolanda.
Welcome to the program, Mrs. Harris-Bunton.
Thank you so much. Thank you guys for having me. It's an honor to be on the site. So I'm so grateful. Thank you.
Well, we must say that your culinary reputation and the tastiness of your vegan cuisine does precede you. So you are popular amongst us members of the Atlantic City NAACP, people also popular in the community and beyond. So I'm hearing about Vegans Are Us way out in other counties about how they got to come to Atlantic City and taste your food. So we are excited to have you with us this afternoon. So I'll read your bio, of course. I'll read your bio, and then you'll tell us 3 things about you that are not in your bio. Okay. So you are the multi-talented founder and CEO of Vegans Are Us with a touch of soul restaurants, a certified nutritionist and a holistic health coach, fitness trainer, actress, model, and so much more. Your mission is to save one person at a time by introducing more and more people to the pleasures of eating vegan foods. You began studying holistic healing and teaching about the importance of health and wellness. You're a firm believer that plant foods have the power to heal the mind, body, and spirit. Your passion for health and wellness, you say, is your life. You say you enjoy what you do and all the like-minded people you've met during your journey. And you will continue to expand your brand and share your knowledge and gifts to the world. You're dedicated to expanding Vegans Are Us nationally and internationally. You have a few mantras that you've learned. You have a passion for something. If you have a passion for something, nothing can stop you. Always put God first. Love and help others, and everything else will come as planned, and have peace and purpose. So welcome to the show. We are glad to have you.
Thank you.
I will say before we get into it, you were very, very, very popular at the national convention, the NAACP this summer. So we want to thank you for being open and community minded. And I received so much feedback on how pleasant the interactions were. You were a good conduit of the community engagement and spirit we have in Atlantic City. So thank you for that.
Oh, I just want to first and foremost say thank you for all the people that supported. I was just so amazed. I'm just like, wow, and that's my thing. I just want to get people in, especially people of color, so that they can at least try and just, go along with the flow, just try it out, you know, and they came and they enjoyed it. So that just made my day. Thank you guys so much for promoting us on the news. That's how a lot of people found out about us. And it was just great. I loved it.
Wonderful. So tell us 3 things about you that I didn't mention in your bio.
Well, I'm married. I have a loving husband, 2 beautiful daughters. One of my daughters actually run my Vineland location, and she's been doing an excellent job for 3 years. And I have, they're a great support system. Without them, this will not be possible. They are my biggest supporters, and I'm grateful to have them there. I'm grateful they're a part of my journey, to kind of like put their stuff on hold to be a part of my journey. Also, Vegans R Us is actually service marked. A lot of business owners don't get their names service marked or patent or trademarked. So no one can steal my name. No one can run with it. I can take it anywhere I want to go. So I just received a letter from my attorney the other day saying that it was a long process, and that's probably why a lot of business owners don't do it. But I'm service marked, so that's a plus.
Congratulations,
also,
that's a big deal.
It is.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. I was so excited, and I'm just an excited person. Like, I'm always excited. I'm always smiling. It don't take much to keep me happy, you know. I'm just like, I love what I do, you know. I wouldn't be here without God, you know. He just amazes me every time something happens. I'm like, you did it again, you know. So just living life, you know. I love life.
It definitely shows.
Thank you.
So welcome. So President, I'll turn it over to you for the next question.
Okay, thank you. And again, thank you so much for being on today. Let me ask you this question. How did you become an entrepreneur, and what advice would you give young women of color about going into business?
So I'm gonna tell you this story. Like, it blows my mind every time I tell it. So I had went to real estate. I was working my 9 to 5. I have a degree in psychology. And I said, you know, I want to change up, you know. So I said, I want to get a second job. So I went to real estate school. It was a 2-week course. I passed out of the class. The same day I passed out of the class, my girlfriend calls me and she said, you know, I met this older guy. He needs help. He's sick. He has a business, a food business. And I think your vegan business inside of his business, because he does vegetarian, it's not vegan, but you two together will be a perfect business. She said, I'll take you over there. If you can meet me in the next hour, I'll take you over there so you can meet him. I said, sure. So I came over, I met him, and the gentleman was like, well, when can you start? You know, so he had this big, beautiful building, and he wasn't really getting too many customers in. So I decided to bring my vegan selection into his establishment. He started getting customers. The city councilmen came, the mayor, I mean, because we're right across the street from the city hall. So this is a lot of times where they would come eat. The judges, I mean, everybody started coming in, and he was like, wow, I've never seen this many people come in here. Unfortunately, he started getting sicker and sicker. So I had to run the business. Mind you, I've never ran a business in my entire life. So I had to keep inventory. I had to make sure everything was kept, the bills kept up. I had to make sure everything that has to do with a business, I had to make sure that it was done. So I did that for him. So I look at it as God giving me a test to see if I was able to do it. And I passed the test. You know, I was able to run his business and everything was smooth. Unfortunately, I went on vacation, and I already had the vacation plan. And when I was on vacation, he passed away. And because of his religion, they have his services within like 48 hours. So it was no way I could get back in time to go to his services. So I was devastated. I found out that, you know, they put this building, the same building that I was in, up for sale. And I inquired about it. And the landlord provided me with the building. He said, I seen you in the building. I seen what you were doing. And, you know, you're the one I'm going to choose. I have 10 candidates. You're the one I'm going to choose. So ever since then, I just been doing my thing, running my businesses and growing. So that's like,
that's a lot of life lessons in one lesson.
yes, it was a test. It was all a test, you know? As far as what I would tell younger kids or women or of color, anyone of color, follow your dream. Don't let nobody stop you. I had a lot of naysayers. I had a lot of people saying, you sure you want to open that business? It's a vegan business. Don't nobody eat vegan food, you know, and you're in a town where it's not that busy and you're going to spend a lot of money. You're going to waste money. I mean, I had so many, even my family, you know, they were just like, I don't know. And I just had it in my heart that this is what I wanted. This was my passion and it was going to work. I never looked at competition or anything, you know, I just wanted to feed these people this good food, healthy food. So just follow your dreams, take a leap on faith and know that if you put God first and if it's a passion of yours, everything is going to work out.
When did you personally? Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead.
When did you personally become introduced to vegan food? Was it something that you was raised in your household, or how did you first?
Well, I lost a lot of my immediate family due to health problems, so I didn't know if it was hereditary, so I wanted to become more and more aware of, my health. It was back to back. My father had colon cancer. My one sister had a heart defibrillator, it stopped working. My other sister had cirrhosis of the liver. And my mother, she passed away from the deaths of my sister a year later. So it was just, I had to do something, and I'm the baby of the family. So I took care of all of them, and I said, I have to start eating right. I have to take care of myself. Your body's your temple, and I just have to take care of myself, So I just started doing like social media cooking shows on social media. I would rush home from my 9 to 5 and do these shows, and people would chime in, and I'm like, wow, I got like 1,000 people looking right now, and I would give them the recipe. And it was just a blessing that I was able to share my knowledge on how to cook it, because a lot of people don't know how to cook vegan food, and they just have the misconception about it. So for me to be able to give them my recipes and share it with the world, it was just like, I couldn't wait to get home. I'm like, oh man. And then when I didn't go on, they would get upset. Why aren't you on? You said you were going to be on 7. So they was actually waiting for me to go on. So that's how I kind of branded myself. I started saying, vegans are us to be on at 7, chime in, we're making vegan lasagna, and I just loved it,
Wow. That's amazing. President, I'll turn it back over to you.
Right. Let me ask you, I guess, a combination question. Tell us the difference between being a vegan and being a vegetarian, and how long have you been a vegan?
So I've been a vegan. So the difference between vegan and vegetarian is vegan don't eat anything from an animal. No dairy, nothing from an animal. Vegetarians, they don't eat meat, but they do eat dairy, cheese, and stuff like that. And those that are pescatarian, they eat fish.
Okay.
So you also have pescatarians out there. I've been vegan for about, I say, almost 8 years.
Okay.
I love it. It was a journey, but once I hit that journey, I was great. I was good. Sorry, I got customers walking by waving. Once I hit that journey, it was just like, wow, I felt so good. I wanted to bottle it up and just hand it out to people. It was an amazing feeling. I've never felt it in my entire life. And to this day, I still have that feeling, and I never want to lose it.
Well, I'll tell you this, full disclosure. I think I told Yolanda this offline. I think I'm leaning towards moving to veganism, but I might, a pescatarian, that's what you said, that's the one to eat fish?
Yes, because I started out in stages. I started
Right.
out vegetarian, then I started out pescatarian. So it takes time, And
I-
pescatarian,
I-
they eat fish, dairy.
I think I'm moving in that direction, and not just because you're on the show or because you happen to be in my district. As you know, I'm a regular customer. Yolanda, we had a breakfast there, was unbelievable. Go to the Sunday breakfast at Vegans Us any day. I just happened to go there Sunday and had red velvet waffles and chicken, and unbelievable. And let me ask you this before I turn over to Yolanda. If a person has health issues like we have in our community, hypertension, high blood pressure, asthma, diabetes, if they switch to a vegan diet, do you suggest that will help their health conditions?
Absolutely. Absolutely. You have to eat more from the earth. When you eat more from the earth, it heals you internally. We wasn't taught that growing up, they inject the meat. And, I don't want people to feel like I am, it is your preference, what you want to do. You got to sometimes be careful because people get offended when you say, not supposed to eat meat. And that's how I feel. But in the same time, they inject these chickens and cows with so much stuff because, in our world, it's all about the money, so they're trying to grow these animals to young adults so that they can sell them, at a faster rate. And they're injecting them with hormones and who knows whatever else they're injecting them with, and we're consuming it. Now, if you look at it back in the day, like 30 years ago, it wasn't violence like it is now. People are just violent. They're just angry. And I believe it comes from the meat. The animals, they see that they're about to be slaughtered. That tension stays in the meat and we're eating it. People are eating that meat. So that tension is going through their system. Energy is everything, so it's just making people more angrier. And, if you adopt more from the earth, like plants and, just stuff, salads and fruits and vegetables, if you eat that, it definitely will heal you internally. Every fruit and vegetable has its benefits health-wise.
I think you have a strong point there. Yolanda?
So you just celebrated a milestone anniversary of Vegans R Us. Tell us about that. And tell us about the development of your restaurants, both here and in Cumberland County.
So first and foremost, 1 year, it went by so time is just flying, isn't it?
Yes.
I almost forgot about it until I was reminded. I was like, oh, year's coming up. I have to do something real quick. So I had like a celebration for the community, just thanking them for supporting us. I'm very grateful, for that. Both of my restaurants are good. I mean, I had to find staff, developing a staff and just having people that was going to be like-minded, and help run and want to see their businesses grow was a challenge. But I have them in place now, so that's good. But just trying to get everything together and back on track because we had so much going on the last couple of years with the Black Lives Matter stuff and so it actually helped us develop our business in a positive light because more people wanted to support Black businesses. Right. So it actually helped me grow and to be able to get into Atlantic City, because I had so much support at my location in Vineland. I was able to open a location in Atlantic City. So, and then it's been, yes, it's a blessing, and it's been great. Granted, every restaurant going to have like their downtimes and stuff like that, but for the most part, we're doing good. People want to be healthy, and I'm just blessed that I'm able to help them.
We gave out your address, 122 Michigan Avenue in the Walk. Tell us what are your hours and maybe tell us about some of your specials or some of the things that people can look forward to if they come to Vegans Us?
So my hours in Atlantic City is Monday through Saturday from 10 to 8 and Sunday from 10 to 7. Sunday, we have all day brunch and breakfast. During the week, we offer breakfast from 10 to 12. So that's why we decided to do the all day brunch on Sunday. So people can have an option of, because during the week, not everybody are able to get breakfast. So Sunday is an opportunity to where they can actually taste the breakfast. And we're there every day. Only time we close is certain holidays. We have so much stuff you can get. I had to actually chop down my menu. I had so much stuff on the menu. It was like 3 pages. My husband was like, what are you doing? And I'm like, I want them to taste all of this stuff. So I try to get stuff on my menu that we're used to eating, right? Comfort food, so it attract people more. A lot of people ask, why do you have your foods named after chicken instead of or why do you have your fish named after fish instead of fishless? It's because I was trying to connect the mind with them saying chicken. So when they eat it, they're going to think they're eating chicken.
Mm-hmm.
So, that's why I have all those different names on there. But we have everything from breakfast, lunch, and dinner. So we have collard greens, we have
mac and cheese,
and rice, mac and cheeses. I have 2 different flavors of mac and cheeses. I have one made with a cashew flavor and one made with a vegetable flavor for those that have like a nut allergy. We have shrimp. We have a seafood basket combination. Oh, we have it all. We have an Italian sub. I heard Subway was closing across the street when I recently had moved into Atlantic City. So I said, well, we got to offer a sub, because for the people that was going to Subway, they'll have something here to eat, and I try to put everything on there. And also I have specials. So every day I'll have specials. So just to create different dishes.
Do you have smoothies, anything like that?
Yes, I have smoothies. We offer sea moss. We have sea moss that you could add in your smoothies, but we have all kinds of smoothies. We have we get a lot of people that go to the gym, so they come there before their workout. So we have like pre-workout smoothies. We have smoothies after your workout to give you the protein. So I just try to touch on everything that is going to help with internal health.
One of my constituents asked me to ask you this question, and they have been to your restaurant and they were pleased, but their question was, I think you're the first vegan restaurant that I'm familiar with in Atlantic City, and they said, President Shabazz, please ask her what made her come to Atlantic City.
I came to Atlantic City because my husband and I used to go to Atlantic City all the time, walk the boardwalk and just have a good time. And we never had anywhere to eat.
Okay.
I would always have to be subject to eat French fries or a salad. And I'm like, I want to eat food like everybody else, and it was just nowhere to eat for us. So I said, we have to. That's going to be our next location. Atlantic City will be our next location. And we made it work.
You certainly did. And I'm like you, I'm amazed. I remember I was at your opening. I spoke at your opening, and it doesn't seem a year went so fast. It's amazing. It's amazing. Yes. And you have made a difference in a short period of time. I hear people, as Yolanda said, at the convention, we had scores of people, dozens of people who stopped us and said that they frequented your place. As you know, we put a list together of the Black-owned restaurants and we gave it to the delegates. And people were really enthused and interested in that. Let me ask you another question. If someone is, and many of us have health issues and many of our family members have health issues, if someone is looking seriously at changing their eating lifestyle, how would you suggest they begin?
I would suggest they first and foremost do a detox, because first and foremost, we was not taught to detox. We don't know, we have no clue about detoxing. You have to detox before you adopt any kind of healthy lifestyle, because if not, you know, it'll still work, but it won't work as effectively if you have detox. Because, you know, I look at it like this. This is what I tell people. Your body's equivalent to a car, right? Just like you go take your car to get an oil change, and it just seems like it's running a lot better after you get that oil change. When you detox, that's what you're doing to your body. You're cleaning your colon and your intestines. Over the years, stuff just stick in your colon and your intestines, and you start feeling sluggish. You're wondering why you're gaining weight and you're not thinking clear. That's toxin buildup. Everything happens in the belly. So you want to make sure you do a detox first, and then gradually adopt cutting, you know, maybe 1 day a week. Start with 1 day a week. I'm not going to eat meat on Mondays.
Okay.
And then gradually just work your way up, you know, then make it 2 days a week, you know, and then gradually your body will feel so good to where you're going to cut it out all completely, because your body's going to, number one, get used to not eating that meat. So when you do decide to eat meat on the 4th or the 5th day, you're going to feel it. I wasn't feeling like this when I didn't eat meat. So, you know, your body is going to, now you're thinking clear because you got the detox, right? So now you're eating, you know, cutting some days out. So now your body is saying, okay, what's going on here? I feel great. So gradually do it. I wouldn't tell people to do it cold turkey because your body's so used to eating meat. So gradually just cut it out. And you'll feel so great, you'll want to do it anyway.
That sounds like the Ramadan fast that we do. When the more you fast, the better you feel. Your skin gets clear. And as you say, you feel lighter. Okay, so the secret, not the secret, the technique, if you want to change to a healthier lifestyle, is do it gradually. Detox first, do it gradually, and see, should people catalog or do a diary? Would that help people in terms of what they eat and how they eat, in terms of moving from where they're at to where they want to go, if that's their desire?
Absolutely. You always want to record what you're eating, but you definitely want to eat more from the earth. You know, I would tell people to adopt the 5 doctors.
The 5 what?
The 5 doctors. Adopt the 5 doctors. So that the 5 doctors is Dr. Sun. You want to get your vitamin D, right? Because that keeps your immune system up.
Right.
You have to get vitamin D. It keeps your immune system up. Dr. Sleep. A lot of us are lacking sleep. We don't get enough sleep. Sleep is so important for your body to function. Dr. Nutrition. Make sure you're eating from the earth and drinking plenty of water. You have to. You have to. Dr. Spirituality. You have to have someone that you speak with. You have to have that spiritual living. Whatever your spiritual living is, you have to have that, because you need that in your life in order to go to the next phase, right?
Right.
So, you know, like I said, I always put God first in everything I do. I meditate, and the reason why I meditate is because, you know, we often pray, and a lot of times when we're praying, we're asking for things, right? When you meditate, you're actually hearing the word from God. So I love meditating. So go to your safe space and just meditate. You know, that's what I do. And my final D is Dr. Love. You got to give yourself. You have to love yourself.
Right.
You know, you have to show yourself self-love, because if you don't, no one else will. You know. So if they follow those 5 doctors, they'll be fine. They'll be fine.
Okay. Sun, proper sleep, nutrition, spirituality, and love.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I'm saying
And
that.
love falls in a category of diet, all that stuff. So, you know, just exercising. I actually exercise people ask me about my schedule. It's God. It has to be, because, you know, I get up 4 o'clock in the morning, I go to the gym, I'm there for a couple of hours, I come home, take my shower, and go to Atlantic City, and I'm there all day, you know, and I come home and I do it all over again, you know. So people often make excuses and say they can't do it, they can't do it. You could do anything you want, you put your mind to it, and you have to make that time for yourself. It's so important.
You're right about that. You go to the gym every day?
Absolutely, you have to. You have to keep your body, your organs going and your blood circulating, and you have to keep that. You know, that's part of self-love. You know, a lot of times I don't want to go. Like even if I do miss, you know, I beat myself up. I'm like, come on, let's go. You know, some people don't have legs to work out.
Right.
Some people can't even get out of their house to even go to the gym, and they wish they could. So you have that opportunity to where you can go to the gym. Why not do it? Or at least just work out. You don't have to go to the gym. Take a stroll on the boardwalk, get some exercise. You know, a lot of people want that, and you're gifted to have it. So why not do it?
Listen, you have been listening to Sharonda Harris-Bunton, who is the owner and the founder of Vegans Are Us, which is located at 122 North Michigan Avenue in Atlantic City in the Walk, and also 636 East Landis Avenue in Vineland, New Jersey. And she has been our special guest. We're going to have you back. I mean, you have given us so much information and so much hope and so much guidance that we're going to have you back. Let me get your final comments. And again, thank you so much for what you've done for Atlantic City, for the business community. Thank you for your being a role model, and thank you for guiding someone. Like I said, I'm moving towards veganism, I believe, and I will be again in Vegans Are Us, because your food is off the hook, as they say. So give us your final comment.
So I just wanted to just let people know to, you know, I know it's hard to be a vegan, you know, to just cut out everything because we wasn't taught that.
Right.
But it helps the environment. It helps the animals being slaughtered, you know. You have to look at it as a whole, you know, either you're all in or you're not in, you know. And if one person just one day at a time just gradually cut meat out and just began to start, you know, it would do a lot of purpose for the universe in the world, you know. I tell people just gradually try it. You know, people just don't like trying new things, but just live outside the box for once, you know. All the grains and stuff we feed the cattle can actually feed the hunger.
Right.
You know, so it's a lot to it, you know, and you'll feel great. Like I said, I feel great. I wish I could just bottle up how I feel and just hand it out to people, because you can, you know, I'm like the outside looking in, you know, I'm telling people how I feel, but they don't actually feel it.
Right.
You know, and it's a great feeling, you know. If they need help, I'm willing to help them. I can start them off with menu plans and whatever they need. I can start them off with a detox. But they'll definitely feel a lot better. They'll think clear, you know, their body will function properly like it's, you know, like it's supposed to. And it's also self-healing, you know. So just take it serious, you know, take yourself serious, you know, because you're worth it.
Thank you so much. We appreciate
You're
you. We
welcome.
appreciate you. We appreciate you. Vegans Are Us, owner and the operator. Go visit her. Thank you again. Thank you, Yolanda Melville Esquire. Thank you, registered nurse Alexander Bland. Thank you, Dr. Cupanini, for being with us. When we fight, we win. When we fight, we win. When we fight, we must win. See you next week.
Thank you.